And good afternoon there, YouTube. This is Stampede Valkyrie. I've got another unboxing of an Aerodynic here, if you want to call it that. This is one I just recently picked up. I'm kind of excited about it. There's a couple of reasons why. I'm going to give you kind of a guided tour as to what I'm looking at here. You just get a good overall impression. There's some things that are not quite right as you look, and things that will need to be replaced. However, I am kind of curious in regards to, there's the dirt, a little bit of simple green, clean that up. But I'm kind of curious in regards to the condition of the inside of this dome, and I figured I'd make a video on it so you guys can see what's going on. One of the really neat things is that I'm kind of excited about this light, because it's kind of hard to see, but if you look real closely here, this is an older gen Aerodynic, possibly metal par holders. Actually, I believe that is a metal par holder. Really kind of hard to see through this lens because the lens is pretty opaque, if you want to call it that, or frosted, whatever terminology you want to use. It needs to be polished. However, the other giveaway is this full speaker here, not the cutouts. The newer Aerodynics have the cutout, which kind of takes this down to here, and it doesn't have the full grid, if that's what you want to call it. So that's kind of cool too. I'm gonna have to get rid of these guys because I'm not sure why people decide to put bolts that rust instead of stainless ones on these lights. I never understood that. But let's get this guy open and take a look at the inside of it and see if my my inspection here pays off. I mean, it looks like it might be kind of a Franken Aero. It doesn't really have alleys. As you can see, there's no alley light on here, and there's no alley light. Well, not like you can really see with all this stuff here. Maybe I get that out of the way. Nope, no alley light there either. But what it does have is it does have the mirror. You can see the bulkhead mirror on the inside. So this light may have had alleys at one point, and they took it away. So it's kind of like a Franken Aero. But let's take a look at this. Let me pop this open. You guys can see what I see. I'm kind of hoping this turns out pretty well, because if it's an older Aero, this would be one of my first, well, not my first, but probably first generation Aerodynic coming out of here. So let's take a look at it. I'll be right back. And we're back with the domes off. I can kind of see what the setup here is. It does have the bulkhead mirrors there on the sides. Those are your for alley lights. I can honestly tell you, these are the old style par 36 holders, the metal ones. But I can also honestly tell you that at this point, this is a Franken Aero. It's a full-on Franken Aero. Somebody took parts from an older Aerodynic, put it on a newer version Aerodynic, and get it running. It is halogen. You can see the halogen connectors there. They're first gen Aerodynics I do not believe were halogen. I think they were incandescent. Again, we've got metal par holders on this side, but here's the giveaway really that this is a Franken Aero. We come in here on the tag, and what I've got is a tag that reads Model 24 EAH-T. Series A1H. Okay, so we know it's an EAHT. It's supposed to have alleys. It's supposed to have a takedown light. Usually it's this guy on this side, but we know it doesn't have alleys. We also know that with the bulkhead mirrors, it's supposed to have alleys, and that these lights, or these type of end holders, were not on. Somebody took the parts of this from another bar. So this is definitely a Franken Aerodynic. I don't know what the motor reads. The tag on the frame reads 87. The motor reads, looks like, hold on a second here, that's another 87. So yeah, most definitely this is not a what is it, this is definitely a Franken Aero. Kind of disappointed. At the same time though, it's still an Aerodynic. I mean, I have the parts to bring this guy back. I think this is going to turn into a parts bar, to be honest with you, because I can use the metal par holders on an actual bar that uses these, in other words from that time frame. It's really haven't tested it yet, so I don't know if this works or not. If we're looking at the rotators, there's your halogen H1 bulbs. That one's actually missing the collar, so that one I'm not even sure how that's even staying in there. See on this side, there's the collar with the clips. I'm trying to see, is there anything else worth noting? I mean, what I'm going to end up taking from this bar initially are the feet, these lamp holders. You'll also see that these are halogen bulbs in here. These are H7600s. I can use these bulbs assuming that they work, so I'll probably end up taking those as well. I may turn this back into an EAHT, I'm not sure. I'll see if that flasher works. I'll end up taking that flasher and the wiring harness off of it. I do like this, so this will end up coming out as well. These guys up here will have to be sprayed and taken off, so I can use this on the, again, the same bar that requires the older style speaker grill, which is kind of neat. So all hope is not lost on this one per se. It's definitely a Franken Aero though. This is most definitely a Franken Aero. It does need a cleanup. Eventually at some point I'll bring this guy back to life. How does that clutch gear look? Doesn't look too bad. Needs to be cleaned. That's about it. The clutch gear doesn't look too bad either, but I definitely I'll be taking the feet off this guy. I'll be taking these end lamps off this guy. I'll be taking the front speaker grill piece at least minimum off, as I can use the full size holder on an older Aerodynic that I've got. And that's it. So here's an unboxing video where you get to see a kind of a surprise Aero as to what people see and so on and so forth. So the bar was made in '87, motor in the SAE tag match. It is an EAHT, which means it should have alleys. It doesn't have alleys. These old metal style par 36 holders, I'm kind of disappointed because I kind of like the older Aerodynics too. But I have an older Aerodynic that I can retrofit with these metal holders. It's no big deal. But other than that, okay, YouTube, that's that. I'm actually going to go ahead and wrap this up. Pretty short though, 6-minute video. I just figured I'd show you what's going on. At some point I will probably have this cleaned up and make some video of it running, but I have some other things I need to work on first. So here's the first unboxing of a mystery Aerodynic and what you encounter as this goes along. All right, you have a good Palm Sunday, YouTube.